even use actual art, your set designers and the rest of that. You use everything. And so this is where the contracting is so important, because for you as a producer to ultimately be able to exploit that right, you must have acquired all those other bundle of rights. And it clearly shows that it is the most communal process that you would ever find because of the number of stakeholders that are involved. And if those stakeholders are not properly aligned on a larger sector basis, and then you find out that it starts to fail at the bottom, which is what we are seeing. So when you look at standardization, and I'm on this, I've been talking about the standardization of contracting in the industry. So why Don can say in the UK they work more collectively is that if Don wants to do a project, he doesn't need to worry about his contract, because on a sectoral level, it's already been done, right? The Actors Guild, the Directors Guild, the Producers Guild, they've pre-negotiated their terms of engagement. So the only thing I have to do as an individual, whether I'm a producer, I'm a director, I'm a set designer, is based on my experience and how good I am. Maybe I can have slightly better terms. Maybe I can have slightly better pay or other more favorable terms, right? But my basic is covered, right? And because it's a sector that has predominantly gig workers, so we have to accommodate for certain things that other sectors already have, like healthcare and pensions, right? And so those things are also factored into those sectorally agreed, agreements, right? Where if as a producer I'm engaging a director, there's a certain amount of money I'll pay based on the budget of the film or the type of film or whatever. And out of that, I'm supposed to make a contribution to their pension fund and their healthcare fund. So that way you're managing those risks that the sector has, because we're all pretty much freelancers, right, in this space. And it's all done by agreement. It's not done by some decree. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, the only place where there is a decree is with the Ofcom regulations, which essentially what it does is to say, because there is an understanding that ultimately all these things we're talking about are intellectual property, and that the efforts that is put in, see all these people have talked about, the music guys, all these efforts, this bundle of efforts, I could try to find a way to value it, but in real sense, I can never really give it its true value, because it has an unlimited potential, right? So to accommodate for that, the Ofcom regulations came and said, listen, even if someone pays you to create this intellectual property, you remain the owner of this intellectual property. It is yours. And what you're giving the person who has commissioned you is a license to use and to share revenue with you, right? So they understand that, and you see in Nigeria, it's the other way around. The commissioners take everything, except the only way where you can keep any kind of ownership is if you enter a licensing deal. If you don't enter a licensing deal and you're commissioned, they take all rights. And I say, why in tech, when they fund tech, they don't come and say, oh, I'm funding your tech company, so now I own it. They don't do that. And it's the same intellectual property. It's still an idea of sorts that has been brought to light. But in film, they do that. And what then happens when they do that is, I'm talking about a lot of things, and it won't make sense as I'm going, but what then happens when they do that is that you're taking the producer's equity out. So now, remember, this process of doing a film, there's development, pre-production, production, post-production. The most sensitive part of it really is the development. And it also costs money. But if I'm only paid a one-time fee as a producer, where am I going to get the money to keep on developing new ideas and to have more and better products? I don't have equity because you've paid me a very low one-time fee. And so how has the industry then tried to counterbalance it? People now say, okay, I'm going to tell you that the budget is $600,000, but actually I'm going to spend $100,000. Because that's the only way I can get equity, right? And then the commissioners who are actually investors are saying, well, and then they find out and say, well, oh my God, I have no certainty because I cannot tell what is the real cost of production. And then it affects licensing fees. The licensing fees that are paid in Nigeria are significant. And Ichoma, you know this because and you do the shoot, they are significantly lower than in other markets. And this issue of certainty of cost of production, quality of production, is a major contributor to that. So, you know, basically, we're taking 100 naira when we could be taking 10,000 naira. And it all comes down to the fact that we don't have an industry, we don't have data, we don't have standardized contracting, so everybody is just me, myself, and I, thinking that you're winning, when ultimately, actually, you're losing.
Thank you very much.
To actually even bring it more home, because I'm a filmmaker like everybody else. In 2014, I think it was 2014, I think one of the most aggressive supporters and proponents of Nollywood, Kenel Barrow, approached me in London, and it was like, I just raised $20 million, and we're setting up film house group, and I need somebody to come and set up the film division. So I was brought back to Nigeria to come and set up the film division. And then the first thing that was on my table was a film called 30 Days in Atlanta. I think 30 Days in Atlanta. It had made like 100 and something million then, you know, and everybody was screaming about it. So, you know, what makes this film special? And I kept on, you know, but it wasn't so much of a great film. I'm not trying to knock the film. But when I was looking at the data, the first thing that struck out to me, which proves very much that we don't have an industry, was that film made over 100 million. And then the next film, the second film that earned the most after that first film, earned like 20 million. And then it went lower and lower and lower. And in 2016, when I produced The Wedding Party, and we were screaming and we were celebrating and whatnot, when you saw the data, Wedding Party made over 500 million, whatever, in the cinemas. The next film made 80 million. The next film made 50 million. And if you actually look at it, now in the cinemas, we produce like 200 films now. No, we're able to put like 250 films in the cinema in a year. If you look at it, it's probably just 3 films that really hit the big figures. And then everything else is just very low figures. That's not an industry. What that tells you is that it's only few people in that market that are actually making money and everybody else is suffering. And that's not an industry, because there has to be a spread. There really has to be a spread. Because even in Nigeria right now, can you shoot 2 black belts at the same time? I don't think you can't. You don't have the crew. It's not an industry. And I know it's a painful thing to say that we don't have an industry, because we know we have so many films. And we make, you know, Brenda and I were having a conversation. It's like, Nollywood is it the second largest in terms of output. But when it comes to money, the money you're making for this output, you're not in the top 80 countries in the world. How? It's not an industry. It's not an industry.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Brenda, you want to respond to that before I go to Shireen?
I have to be careful, I'm the British. But I think, you know, filmmakers in the room, aspiring filmmakers in the room, you know, I don't want us to, you know, kind of talk over your heads, you know, or not let you understand. But the reason why we need to really talk about IP, and if you don't know what your IP is, quickly, it's just that idea that you own. It's that little design that you made. It's that story, you know, that you told yourself that you've gone to talk to a writer about, and that writer has made it into a script, and people will probably share that IP. You know, it's this jacket I'm wearing, made by the tailor. The design of it is her IP. You know, so just for you to understand what that is and why you need to protect it, because at the end of the day, 2 people with the same film, if you make an exact same replica of The Wedding Party, you know, everybody's going to be like, what's the difference? You know, why are we watching it? We've already watched The Wedding Party. And then the owners of The Wedding Party will probably sue you. You know, so you need to understand why it's important, you know, in the larger conversation around whether it's an industry or not, if you agree, if you don't. You know, most important is for you to understand that as we are now, you're not maximizing whatever it is you've made. You know, your film, your TV production, whatever it is, it's not maximized. You know, I don't know how much people are earning from the streamers at the moment. I can't tell you, but there's an average. And whatever that average is, you know, is still very much below what the standard is. Now, you may not, in the lifetime of your career, become one of those filmmakers that will earn in the millions of dollars, because everybody in this industry at the moment is a pioneer. You understand? And that's the sacrifice you've made for choosing this career path. You chose it. We don't have a choice. But as a pioneer, what it means is that you're part of the people who are developing and setting up this industry. You know, with all of the errors, mistakes, successes, wins. And what that means for you is that there's a generation of filmmakers coming, you know, who will be the ones to earn these millions of dollars and whatever it is, because of the work that you're doing now. And what that also means is that there's now an industry. Once there's a legacy for it, there's now an industry. It is now going to be established. And it's going to be an established industry that people can invest in, people can decide to be a part of, and all whatnot. So, in response to Ijeoma's initial question around the ceiling, you know, yes, we do have issues. You know, the government hasn't taken the creative industries at its most serious. They've started to acknowledge. We now have a Ministry of Creative Economy, you know, and that is something. But it's not yet where it ought to be, based on the organic work done by filmmakers as yourself. You understand? The kind of sacrifice and kind of investments that filmmakers have put into this sector, you know, is what governments do in other countries, in terms of even the money. You know. So, first of all, give yourselves a round of applause. It's important that you acknowledge, you know, what you're doing and the great work that you're doing. But most importantly, it's for you to just understand that you must join the clamor, join the fight, join the war, whatever it is around intellectual property. I know that if people here have shared their ideas before, they've said something around a story that they have, and somebody picked that up and used it, you know, and at some point in time you were pained or you were hurt. It's happened to me not once, not twice, you know, and I didn't have anything to do. I couldn't, there was no recourse. There's no recourse to it. You understand? There's nobody saying, oh, if you guys talk about an idea, you know, what next? How do we protect it? So that's when that idea becomes something you can monetize. You know, there's no quarrel and there's no fights. I've been in quarrels around the title of a project. I'm still in litigation around some project that we co-designed with some individual, and he has decided that we're not part of it, we're still at war. I do that, that's frustrating. But the point is, you're trying to make a living from this sector. Sorry, apologies. You're trying to earn a living from this sector, and you need to know what you need to do to protect yourself and to protect the work that you're creating for yourself. I want to let you know that the amount of money from the Felala and Blackwood estate is, I can't even tell you the figures. I can't tell you the figures. But I want to let you know that every time you see a sound, or you hear a sound, or you see something that has hilarity on it, every time you hear about felation, every time you hear about felation, you should know everybody. I want to let you know that the estate and family of Felala have gained dollars from it. That is one example of very well protected IP. Do you understand? The estate is, I don't have words, but I just want to let you know that it's taking care of a lot of people, and they're living very well, very luxurious lives. Yes. So it's just for you to understand what IP is. I want you to really, really concentrate on it. Whoever it is that owns the IP on Wedding Party will continue to earn something from it in perpetuity forever. It means you can pass on something as an inheritance to your children. It means that if you never built a house, you understand? If you never built anything worth concrete mortar, that IP can take care of your kids, you can take care of your children's children, you understand? Because I'm bringing it home to us in Nigeria, you understand? Inheritance is a thing for us. So it is something that can be inherited. It is something that your children can benefit from, and years after. You understand? I don't know if anybody has ever inherited anything. I haven't. I wish I could. But, imagine that something I did, now, my children and my children's children are living good lives from it. That's how important, your IP is. So when you take it like that, you realize that the IP is actual cash. It is. It's just in a form. It's like land that you've bought. It's like a house that you built. It's like shares, and all of those things. And it appreciates. That's the truth. It can be a small appreciation, but it's steady. You understand? Yeah. So I want us to have a different perspective. When you start to hear conversations around IP, listen and try and figure it out and ask questions. It's not as complex, Isioma is a lawyer, so when she's talking, she can be very professional with her terminology. But bringing it home to you now is for you to understand that this is the value of it, that if you have an idea and it becomes something can be done with that.
Thank you so much. So Shile, sitting next to Isioma, I've known her for quite some time, and she shares Isioma's position a lot by telling me, why should I produce for somebody and I don't have a share in it? That's what she keeps telling me. Like, no, you can't. How much you want to give me? That's her language. So, and I'm so excited that, Isioma is a lawyer and she's bringing out the same thing. So from a producer perspective, I want you to let us know why you've taken that position. If somebody must commission you, you have to earn or you have to own part of it. If not, you're not interested.
Thank you. The answer will be what she said in perpetuity. It's extremely important to understand that if I think right, great for you, I should earn a living from it till the end of the world. Extremely important. And I must also tell you that you don't, from a business perspective right now, I must tell you that my position has also shifted a little. Yes. So that's that very strong stand that we had. The other answer to us would be, or the other way we look at it from another view is that can they pay that value? Can that be like a division of our organization, and knowing very well that that's just service work now? I don't know if you get what I'm so no, like no. Okay. So I don't even know about advertising agency. When they create ads and all of that, they don't own it. It belongs to the brand. Same applies to the people that create music videos. None of the works created by Clarence belongs to him. It belongs to the musician, the artist who created it. So while we looked at it, we can have micromedia productions that would keep